and welcome to the show. We are here today at BeamNG Drive Proving Grounds circuit, where some more vehicles are going to be driven till destruction. However, I don't really know what they are. I don't know what they're going to start off life as, but I have found a mod that's really cool. As you can see, there is a button on the left-hand side that says Scramble Config. This is going to randomly pull parts from all the available parts for a vehicle to create something. I don't know what it is going to create, but whatever it creates, we're going to drive and see how long it lasts. Now, there is a potential that this will not work. Some parts, some things will cause the car just simply not to drive. This looks like a sensible spec of cover, I have to say. It's actually, okay, it looks kind of sensible in here, which does surprise me. We've got mismatched wheels and everything, but does it actually go? Here is the question. No, it doesn't. Oh, well, I'm kind of... You know, if something's going to break, at least let it break a sensible config. I want a silly config. I don't know what engine it is on the Coverts that seem to sometimes spawn in. Ooh, well, that's a silly config indeed. What is going on with this car? Does it drive? Yes, it does. Okay, we're off. Let's go and see what it might do in this. We've got a roll cage. That's pretty good. What is my suspension like? Sporty, I'm going to go with, and the radiator's gone immediately. That's the downside of no front bumper, I guess. Crap. Okay. Suspension, this exhaust has fallen off. It's a good start. Suspension is very, very stiff, which isn't great for this. You see it kind of getting chucked about across these bumps. Now, with the radiator gone immediately, you know, the car is likely to overheat. The water will help keep some cool, in theory, going. Ooh, okay, we hit that and just went straight. It was no turning in the water at all. Was not quite prepared for that one. Yeah, but just skated straight on. Okay, well, we have tweaked the front wheel. It's not the worst thing imaginable. It's not great, but could have been a lot worse here. Across the Toblerone we go. Yeah, there's absolutely no give in this suspension at all. So you can see the front end bouncing around. It's not what you need. Not what you need at all. Into the spin as we head. Let's try and not do anything stupid. I'm trying to figure out what drive this is. I think it's front-wheel drive. It drives strangely, I'll give it that much. Does not really want to go... I mean, it kind of does. Yeah, it's very odd to drive with whatever configuration, whatever bits and pieces it has going on. We're going to land on the other corner. I don't know whether we want to do... We probably don't want to do all damage on one side if we can help it, because, you know, we can't afford to lose that wheel. If we lose that wheel, we'll lose drive. It'll be game over. Although it could have a diff that would let it be one-wheel drive. I genuinely don't know what it might have in this, of course. As I said, that's half the fun. Up towards the Dover jump we go. I mean, it's not going to be the worst performing vehicle. A random configured cover is not going to be the worst performing vehicle around this circuit. Come on, make the turns. We are struggling with right-hand corners, which is kind of to be expected. The car does want to pull quite badly to the left. But otherwise, it's not too bad for this first lap. I'm worried about the front suspension. It just doesn't... Now, there's two schools of thought. If it is very much race-orientated suspension at the front, which it feels like, it certainly looks like, the plus point is it's normally quite strong suspension. It might not have much give, and it's bad for dealing with a lot of these bumps, but it doesn't snap easily, which is good. We'll have to wait and see if that is the case. Like these big crashes down, it does normally stay together for a while at least. Steering is the big concern at the moment. Alongside the overheating, the engine is starting to get up to... I mean, it's getting up to what would be a normal operating temperature. Hopefully we can drag it back down. Oh, that front wheel does not look good. Hopefully we can drag it back down with a trip into the water. Here we go. Does it kill any of the temperature? Some cars it's very effective through the water, some cars are not. Didn't really seem to do much, but that might be to be expected. You know, it's more if it's overheating it can cool it rather than just keeping the temperature low. I wouldn't expect the water to be able to keep the temperature gauge at the bottom. You know, that's not how we would expect to see this. It might keep it alive for another lap or so. Here we go, across the Toblerone. This is a concern for that already damaged wheel, and again, we can't help but hit that front corner. I think it is gone. There is a lot of bunny hopping going on in this car. the front wheel. Any steering from that front wheel is gone. Oh, no, it has got steering. It's got steering to the left. It's got no steering to the right. Have we managed to put it into a better position? Oh, dear. That's bad news for us. We've got out of the spinners somehow. Somehow we have made it out of there. We got hit badly. But we might be able to get it a little further through all of this. Come on, car. Come on, car. There we go. Ooh, we are a tripod now. Come on, cover. I mean, it's still got some kind of steering. I'm not even sure what drive we've got going on here at the moment. God, we're going to burn it out. I think we do this. Oh, no, I can't pull it away. We can't drive it away from its doom down here, I don't think. It's off. It's off, but it's going to visit the trees. And then it's going to be a stuck covert in all of that. Yeah, I mean, the suspension was always the big killer point on this one. It's obviously a very, very stiff race suspension, and it was horrific over some of those. The Toblerones finally removed any sort of steering. It managed to kind of coast its way through. Got lucky through the spinners. We didn't do more damage to the vehicle. It could have gone worse. For a randomly drawn, randomly configured car, that could have been an awful lot worse than it actually was. So that's a positive start. We're going to go with the positive start at least. So, up next, we move on to an I-Series. Again, this is not the spec that it is going to be running. There's a lot of possibilities for this car. I don't know what the game is going to draw for it. I think more likely, okay, we've got a touring car. Oh no. Oh no, are you all-wheel drive with turboed? I'm concerned about the turbo braking. Okay, well, we're a touring car with a snowplow attached to the front. Cool, let's fire it up. Does it actually drive? I mean, this is always the question. We have a manual gearbox. It does move. Suspension looks quite soft. It's turbo, but it's not a powerful engine, this one. Suspension does look quite soft. That's actually good. We want a nice compliant suspension. We saw the issues we got from the what's it called before from the cover. So that is a very big plus. What's going to the door? How have we taken a chunk out of the door? How has that worked? I'm not even sure. This engine is woeful, whatever we've got in it. This is massively underpowered. I'm going to have a couple of big concerns now. Turbo damage. If we lose the turbo on this, we're done. This might be... I don't know what engine it's going to be. For a second I wondered whether it was a very base model diesel, but it's revving too high, because there is a diesel version of this, I believe. But it's revving way too high. It's a very, very rubbish turbo, which makes me think we have... Oh, we've got a touring car looking vehicle with the body kit, the wheels... Rally suspension, possibly, certainly a lot softer suspension than normal, and the most base model engine bits that we can find, almost. If we lose the... I was about to say if we lose the turbo, we're done for. It didn't matter. Everything went pop. Why did everything go pop? I feel like the I-Series has been quite good in this before. It's not going to make it further than the V10 race car that was on two wheels. How did that happen? I mean, this is the curse. This is the thing with the random configuration vehicles. That did not go well for the I-Series. It looked the part. I actually thought that was in for, aside from the really poor engine, I thought that was in for a really strong showing, but that was terrible. That was completely rubbish. Well... there we go. It happens. Well, that didn't... There's a new last place car. Well, after that terrible disappointment of an I-Series, it is time to move on to a Moonhawk. We are going to be driving a... Scramble. Broken mess. That's not worked. Okay, scramble config again. We've got ghost car. Can we unpause? Oh, okay, here we go. We have got a car now. Ooh, it's half derby car. Those rear wheels do look alarmingly tiny. They don't have a texture on, but never mind. That's a... oh dear, does it drive? That's... I mean, that is the real question. In fact, it's so broken, the distance is going up on its own. I fear this is going to have a wacky... Okay, we've got auto box. We have a lot of power. we do not have any steering. That is a problem. The car doesn't steer. Okay. That's also a broken config. That would have been a fun configuration. I don't want that. I just want steering. Never mind. We shall scramble again until we get a working vehicle. What are we going to scramble to this time around? Broken. Don't want broken. Oh, no. Unpause it. We have got broken. Oh, wait. Do we have broken? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that config wasn't. I don't know. Okay. I mean, we have a vehicle. It does seem to... It said the axles are broken, but it's clearly still steering. So I'm going to go with it. Gee, I don't know what engine this is. It sounds very powerful. It sounds very powerful, and the car does not feel like it is equipped to deal with any of this power. What is this engine doing? What is the engine doing? It's awful. I don't know. Is it the diff that's crap? And the clutch, obviously, this has got some sort of race engine that the clutch is not capable of dealing with. It just can't put any of its power down. I wonder if I just go to 5th. No, because that's going to burn my clutch to pieces. Okay, fine, we'll go with 4th. If this ever spools up in whatever way it's going, we're in trouble, because I think this is only going to hit about Mach 10. Something's not right with this car. I mean, it's going and it looks like it's going to go better than the I-Series. No, don't say that. The clutch is going to get blown to pieces in this. Come on, there we go. I feel like... Oh, weapons driving in such a weird way. Never mind, it's fine. Foot down. Come on, let the clutch cool, please. Here we go. It has got some pace. It's doing 70 plus miles an hour up here. Oh, please stop revving so much, you lunatic of a car. Okay, all the front suspension's gone on that landing. That's what we wanted to see. Everything is fine. Ish. Oh, come on, car. I think 3rd gear seems good. I'm really sorry, clutch. I haven't got any other options on this one. It's just, this is how it's going to have to be. Gonna go sideways over there. Oh, the exhaust is gone. My rear axle's gone. Everything's gone. It's all broken. Everything's gone in one hit. Overkill. The clutch was the least of the concern. Oh no, it still drives. Holy crap. What? How has that rear gone in that way? I mean, we've seen... Okay. Right. The vehicle's beached in the dirt. Alright, now we see this sometimes. I'm not counting the car out because it can't drag itself out of the mud. We do allow the vehicles to be pulled out if that is such the case. Oopsie. Can we have the car back? Camera. How is this still going? It's beaten the crawler rule. It is still technically alive with the rear wheels I thought that hit was it. I mean, you would be expecting that hit to be it for this car. It should not be driving. It's never making it over a speed bump. The clutch has cooled down though. It sounds awful. We are abusing the crap out of this poor race engine, but it is still going. Moonhawk, how are you alive? That rear end is surely going to die any second. It's going to get stuck on a speed bump. The checkerboard, the water. It's not making it to the checkerboard. Surely not. What radiator is in this, I wonder, because you might overheat the engine. If it is a race engine and it doesn't have a high-performance radiator, which, let's face it, these random configurations could well do, it's going to blow itself to pieces, but it still lives. It is going to make it further than quite a few cars. It's not going to be setting a record like this, is it? Oh! Please don't blow the radiator. Okay, reverse was a bad call. Let's not go with reverse. Can I actually... I might have broken it by trying to put it in reverse there to save it. Can I turn you around? Come on. Come on. You can make this. It has made it. It's back pointing the right way. Oh my god, it's going to make a lap. There's no way this should have ever made a lap. Not with that level of damage. No chance. But it has. The Moonhawk of... I don't even know what to call it. Clutch Fire. That's going to be its name. Oh! The drive shaft's gone. I mean... This was always the danger, really, when the whole rear end was gone to pieces, unless it happens to have front-wheel drive as well, which, let's face it, wouldn't surprise me with it. How that made about a third of a lap with the rear axle in the state that it was in, I will never, ever know. That should not have done it. I'm not surprised the drive shaft went as soon as we hit a speed bump. The fact it actually made it over the landing of the jumps is ridiculous. What a wonderful, wacky contraption. That was quite something. That was quite something. It's very dead now, but put on a hell of a show. And for our final vehicle today, well, I say final vehicle today unless it dies within half a lap, we've got a Sunburst. Yes, we've got, potential for a strong car, I feel, with a Sunburst. But I don't know what the scramble config is going to be. We could have a hill climb spec, or something along those lines. Okay, we have a police car spec. Police car spec with half-decent ground clearance. I like the wings, roll cage is good. No turbo is good because we can't lose it and the car will be completely down on power. Now, I'm going to turn off the ESC. The reason I do that, it can struggle to deal with broken cars, especially on dirt. It might stop them putting any power down at all, so we always turn that off for a vehicle that has it fitted. We've got a diffuser at the back. This is a strange amalgamation of vehicles. It's like police car racer, but has a roof rack and weirdly high suspension. The suspension looks good, I will say that much. It does look like it's got some compliance in it, so that could keep us going. It doesn't feel all-wheel drive. It's not very powerful, whatever engine is in this one. That's probably a good thing, considering the Moonhawk had a very, very powerful engine, I think. It certainly sounded it. I feel like if we could have used any of the power, it would have been very fast. I don't know whether it was gearbox or diff that was knackered in that car, but this has got usable amounts of power. Oh, it's fallen over, and I don't quite know why. Why did you fall over there? You have good ground clearance. What is that? Oh, okay, I know why it fell over. The sump guard got caught on one of the checkerboard bits, and as it got caught, as it was tearing it off, it flipped the car. I mean, that was pretty well did on the bottom of this. But it is now gone, so I guess that doesn't protect our engine anymore. Never mind. We're into the spinners for the first time of asking. There's a gear, we need to go back down to first. I'm not going to say, I was about to say this is the seemingly like the most sensible config of car we've had to deal with so far, but I know what the curse of the commentator is like, so we're not going to tempt fate. Speed-wise, we're pretty good up here. It's not going to be setting any records, we're not going to be clearing the fence with this. We'll have a little lift because we only want about 62 miles an hour over there. You start doing 70 plus. 70 plus isn't going to get you to clear the fence, by the way. 70 plus is, depending on how your suspension is, you may well bounce on the landing and then fly very fast into the wall, which is kind of not what you need around here. So yeah, we'll allow the cars to not do that, basically. Well, vehicles have to be driven as hard as they can, as fast as they can. That sort of crash is very avoidable, so we don't go for that. Do you want to go down to second, maybe? Sure, let's do that. First, okay, I mean, thoughts after the first lap on this? It's lost the bumper and the guard at the front, but suspension seems to be holding up. Steering is okay. It feels very softly sprung, and I'd be concerned if one of the corners might. So have we got? For a second I thought we had a little bit of tracking issues, but no, it seems to have gone back. Well, we are now front-wheel drive only. That's not a great sign. It was all-wheel drive. It just wasn't a very, very, very sluggish engine, so difficult to tell. That was a problem. We didn't really need that as an additional problem because the front wheels aren't exactly looking too hot here, but never mind. We can keep going. It is struggling for performance now with that drive gone. It's an issue. It might prevent it from hurting itself too much more. Ooh, okay, random steering as we were heading down the hill there. That is not what you need. It's still going fast enough. It's not going to get counted out. It really doesn't like these checkerboard particularly. There you can see the bit that went. It actually got crash welded into, by the looks of it, into the checkerboard part, and that is how come we ended up going for the roll. The lack of speed is a concern going here now. It is getting worse. I don't quite know why it's got worse. The Sunburst works in mysterious ways, that much is for sure. If it does continue like this, it's not going to continue like this. Wait, are we still one-wheel drive? It's got to be able to get to 20 miles an hour to be able to continue onwards. And it's got to be able to do it within a reasonable amount of time. Clearly some power is being put down some way. In fact, if we can clear, so we'll let it get out of the carousel, we give it a chance to get to 20 miles an hour down this back straight. If it can't, to be fair, I don't think if it can just, but I don't know if it's going to be able to get up the hill here. This is the concern. So we've got a one-wheel drive Sunburst currently, but if that wheel has any problems, in fact, I think the engine may overheat trying to just drive this as a one-wheel drive car. So yes, the front left wheel is the one bit that still works. Okay, it is up the hill. Radiator's gone. Come on, car, you can still do this. I love the fact that the one-wheel drive is working. Oh no, I've got to try and steer. There we go. We've got the momentum going. Oh, I feel so sorry for this poor engine. The engine is going to blow up doing this. It is barely clinging on to life through here, but it is clinging on to life. You know, we don't count cars out. It's the furthest a vehicle has got from the random configuration here. The reason why I'm trying to steer as little as possible, because I need every bit of momentum I can for forward travel. Every little bit of momentum is needed to try and keep this car going up to 30 miles an hour, which is good. I'm worried about jumping off here, because we're not going fast enough, so we land very heavily on the nose. But we're back up to 20 again, so we're still good on that roll. Come on, Sunburst, limp your way around. Be impressive for the randomly configured cars here. That's what we need. I mean, it's beaten a fair few vehicles if it can make it to the end of this lap, but to be fair, it's also not exactly the most insane spec we've ever seen from a car. It kind of makes sense. I'm surprised the drives gave up so easily on this. I feel like it shouldn't, but there we go. We may have real trouble with is getting up the hill after the shallow grave. The reason I say this, excuse me, Cass, what do you think you're doing? Cass, stop playing with the controller battery. I think that's what you're trying to get off the desk. You're the good cat. Why are you playing with the... it's a charged battery for an Xbox controller I have set on the side, so I remember which ones are charged and which ones need charging. Cass apparently wants to play with the thing. Oh, and now he's on the desk where he's not supposed to be. Cass. Oh, we've got a poorly Sunburst. Yeah, we're not getting out of shallow grave if we can even get the speed up. I don't know why it suddenly got worse. It was going well. And now it's not. It's dying. Why is it dying? Why has it just died a death down here? Come on, get that 20 miles an hour. There we go. I mean, it was some gravity-assisted 20 miles an hour. We're not making it out of the water. I think the engine's going to pop before we get there anyway. It is now slowing down. I think the car is coasting to a halt. Every so often it just picks up that little bit of pace to keep itself alive, but I think we're gonna see the death of a Sunburst here. I'm curious as to why the drive was going okay at the end of the lap, but now it's definitely not. It's going to roll in. It's going to use the downhill, roll it into the water, but we're never getting out the other side. That is as far as the Sunburst is going to get, I think. Oh, and it lost the drive. It didn't even have time to blow the engine up. The rock took the half shaft out. I mean, that lost 3. It lost to the rear, lost one front corner, then lost the other front corner, all while the engine was about to go kabang. I mean, it struggled on. It fought the good fight, did the Sunburst, and it got the furthest of all the vehicles today, which is something to be proud of. It was an impressive run. But that is one dead Sunburst. But, you know, impressive perseverance nevertheless. So, we are on to our leaderboard, and it is the Sunburst that would go the best of the day. It would go into a 64th place. Okay, it's not crazy high up on the leaderboard, but to be fair, that's better than the rally hatchback Sunburst that went last time out. So, for a scrambled car, that did fairly well. It was a bit of a weird, silly death with the failures that went on with it, but yeah, it wasn't a terrible showing from that vehicle. Now we do have to go a little bit further down, find the Covet. That's 89th place. It beats the Sunburst hatchback, the normal one, and the Rally hatch as well. Beats the Barstow F2 that burst into flames. You know, for a randomly configured car, that one was not too bad. And for a vehicle that was on very, very stiff, I think, race-orientated suspension of some description, yeah, it was never going to have fun around that circuit, so it could have been worse. It was massively spectacular failures that went on for the Moonhawk down in 112th with the whole rear end collapsing. And we saw the standard Moonhawk had the rear axle come loose, but not anywhere close to as spectacular as a scrambled one did. That drive shaft is always going to be a risk when that hit the speed bumps, so not at all surprised that it would let go in that manner. And we do have a new last place. Yes, the I-Series amazingly managed to do worse than the FFE Motorsport that lost all of the wheels because it hit a bump and both front and rear just drive shaft went. I don't know quite why that is, and I'm not sure what in that config caused that to happen, because the normal I-Series is not too bad around this circuit, but yeah, that was certainly one way to go for that vehicle. Well, there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. This has been a lot of fun, actually. I really like this sort of scrambled config mod. I'll put a link to it in the description, as with all the mods I use, so you can download it, have a go with it yourself. I highly recommend it. Not all the configs work. Sometimes it gets a little bit weird, but that is to be expected. It's fantastic fun. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.